Hey guys, how are you today? I hope everybody's safe, well, doing fine. So, guys, today I have a very special podcast and I have a guest whose name is Fiona Dilston. She's from the UK and she's a visionary homeopath. And today we are going to discuss about tarot cards. If you guys have seen tarot cards in movies or you've been to places where there are people who read out tarot cards, but did you know what they meant or what's the significance of tarot cards? So yes, today I have Fiona with me and we are going to discuss tarot cards. You guys are watching Minding My Business. I'm your host, Avi. Let me welcome you again to my show, Fiona, and it's called Minding
Okay,
My Business. I do this every week. I talk to people from different parts of the world with different profession, and this is something
okay.
which I like. And I've managed to get a lot of guests so far, but this one is too interesting because, again, tarot cards is something we all have heard and seen, but there's not much knowledge in there, don't know much about it. And it was very interesting when Leanne told me about you, and I was looking forward to this meeting for a while. And finally, we have it. And yeah, Fiona, just for starters, I want to start with the basics first. How did you get into this? And then we can proceed.
Okay, how did I get into it? I got into it with a view to self-understanding and self-development. My background was that I was studying history of art and I was also very involved in assortment of therapy things. And basically the tarot for me brought the therapy together with the pictures and a kind of deep dive within, because I would say that I use it much more as a therapeutic tool than doing predictions and whatever else, because as human beings we've got free will,
Right.
and people can predict what they like, and you can decide that somebody may have said you're going to win the lottery and you just go, I don't do that kind of stuff, they've just told me whatever. And yeah, free will.
Okay. And Fiona, basically, for tarot cards, like, okay, we could Google it, but so what I could gather, can you tell me a bit about what are tarot cards first and what do they mean? What do they signify? I'm going very basic because that is what something which I want to understand at the end of this podcast also.
Okay, let's take this slowly.
Yeah.
So basically the history of them is something that comes from a lot of places, and within, they go back to people using playing cards and there's a myriad of history stuff. And what I did was I looked at lots of decks. You used to be able to go into bookstores in the UK and there was like a big file on the table and you could thumb through and you'd see several. And I went with going with what I liked the look of, what resonated with me, what talked to me. And I could connect various cards with the energies of various people, with the energies of various situations, maybe with the energies of various paintings that I knew. And it was giving me something in my own consciousness to tap into, which I then could share with other people.
I remember, Emma, there were times like even I have been to a few places where, this is again, it has happened to me twice. So I've been to places where, so there's this lady who who sits with a lot of cards, which are tarot.
Uh-huh.
And So I didn't know what it was then. I knew there were tarot cards because this phenomena I have known since, from for a very long time, but I don't know what it was. So I went there, I pick one card, I give it to her, and she tells a few things. Yes, there are, yeah, obviously, like you said, you're going to win a lottery. Okay, there are some stuffs like that, but there are some stuffs which you can actually, yeah, okay, something like this does happen in my life. And yeah, like, so what I want to know is again, say, I think there are like 75 cards in
There's 78 cards.
78 cards. So like if you can just tell me a little bit about those and like how does it signify, some examples and something.
Okay, you've got, within those 78, you have got 22, which are what's called the major arcana. Okay. And some people will read just with those. Okay. And when I'm teaching tarot, that's where I start with my students. Okay. I say we pull out 22 major cards. Okay. And with the major cards, you have got things like, and I'm just sitting with a deck here. You have got things like the world, which is number 21, which is kind of towards the end, which is the end, because the tarot starts with 0, which is called the Fool, and stepping off into the new. Okay. So just tell me that question again.
So basically what I want to know is the significance of, say, you can show me because there are so many cards. So I just want to know the significance of, say, at least 4, 5 or 6 cards, just to understand, like what they...
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's just pull out some of the ones that people get worried about.
Okay.
I refer to them when I'm teaching as the scary cards.
Okay.
And one of them here is the Hanged Man. And if you get that, people go, what's happening here? And I'm just like, okay, have a proper look at this. Okay. He's hanging by his foot in a tree. He is not hanging by his neck in a tree. And he's hanging about. He's waiting for something. And I would be saying, this might be a case of waiting for results for something to come through, meditating, waiting for a decision. It is not, you're being hung out to dry. Yeah. It is not, you are hanging by a noose. It is that kind of can't move forward, can't move towards what they want. But if you look at this one, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, the Hanged Man, he has got this yellowy glow around his head. Yeah. And this for me would be saying he is connecting with spirit, he's going within, he's meditating, he's having a bit of a sort of like, okay, what's going on here? I'm going to work with this. I'm going to get a bit of an idea. And yeah, let me find you another card that maybe isn't quite so scary. And we've got the Magician. Okay. And the Magician can be very, very much associated with self-employment and somebody who uses all of their skills to attain what they need. In this card, you have got the 4 elements. You've got earth, air, fire, water. So this guy is a master of this. He is a magician. He pulls everything together. And he's got his red cloak on. And this is saying he's grounded. He's got his feet on the floor. He's able to, this is somebody who is able to make money. And I'd be saying, if you get the Magician popping up, get on with it, do it. If you got the Hanged Man popping up, I'd be saying, give it a little bit of time. It's not clear yet. So yes, with, if I just shuffle on through and see what else feels like is good to share with you for your show this morning, or whatever time of day somebody's listening. So we've got the death card. And this is another of the scary cards.
Yeah, yes.
And
I want to pick this.
just believe you me, when this pops up, it so rarely depicts death. It is about endings and beginnings.
Okay.
And it's saying, this is finishing. It's time to move forward. And there's a very healthy white horse there.
Yeah.
And it's just saying to me, time to move forward, rebirth, stepping into the new. I want to find another scary one for you, or another one that gets misunderstood, because I think there's a hell of a lot of misunderstandings with the tarot, and a hell of a lot of what is this about? What does it mean? Where is this going? And we've got here a card called the Hermit. Now, if somebody gets this, they're going, oh, I'm destined to be on my own. And the number of people who have readings about relationships is nobody's business. It is one of the main things that people would go for a reading about. And with this, the Hermit is not necessarily saying it's bleak, it's cold, you're on your own, nobody wants anything to do with you. If you look closely, we have got somebody with wisdom, somebody who has that lamp and they know where they are going.
Where they're going, yeah. Okay.
And this can be talking about it's time to move forward, going your way, step away from the opinions of other people, step away from doing what you've always done. Have the courage to go against the grain and to really, really, really move forward in your own light, not in somebody else's.
Okay. Fiona, I wanted to ask you, because of lack of knowledge, because many people don't know about it. Do people when they ask, you ask them to pick a card and they're all over, they want you to predict their future and all that stuff, Do people ask such bizarre questions? Obviously when they pick up the, say the Hermit card, or they pick up the Death card, and you tell them something about it, you tell them about what that card signifies. Yes. And do they go because I have done it myself. I've done it myself. I go on asking about what they feel, what's going to happen in my future, some kind of, a future teller or something, Do people perceive you that way?
People certainly do. They think, she can tell you what's coming up. Now, what I will say is I can say what is likely, what is possible for you. But like I was saying at the start, everybody's got free will.
Correct. True. Yes.
And it's if somebody starts saying to you, this is going to happen.
Okay.
Then they're on very, very, very sticky ground.
Yeah.
When I'm working, I have to with anybody, I have to stress this is for entertainment purposes only.
Okay.
Somebody, and I have to be careful.
Yes.
I have people coming to me who are very vulnerable, and it is. I can say, this looks like it's complex. This looks like you need to get all the facts and figures in front of you. I also have a counselling background, and a lot of the time somebody needs to talk. Somebody needs to, and the tarot puts in there the images which can really circumnavigate a drawn out process and can have somebody going, that's what's going on.
Okay. And Fiona, how long has this been in existence? I think from the 15th century, right?
Yes, I think it may go back even further.
Okay, it's been there for a while. It's been
yes, yeah.
And I mean, Fiona, like, can you say that are there like many tarot card readers even now prevalent, or like say the art is, slowly going off? Say, okay, like, okay, we don't meet people like you often, obviously. So are there like many people now in the industry, or like,
I
not many are aware of it now,
I
Like,
think with the coming of the internet, there has been quite an explosion
okay,
of people doing readings and people doing their readings online. And you will have people, self-included, where, they may have previously, as I was doing 20 years ago, just be doing stuff from home with a little card saying, here's my phone number in the corner shop window.
Yeah.
Whereas now, you can Google me, I have a group,
Yeah.
you can, come into my group. I've done it so that at full moons and new moons, I will give a free live stream. There's a lot of interest, and I think people want to understand themselves.
Yes.
And people want a bit of comfort as well. And people, might not be so drawn to tarot, but might go for oracle cards, which can be a little bit perhaps softer. But I would say it's certainly not a dying art.
Okay.
I think it's increasing, if anything.
Okay.
And there's certainly loads more decks available now and in the public eye than there were maybe even 10 years ago.
Okay. And like even from the audience point of view, there is a lot of more interest now, right? Especially, I think, people want to know more. Like, obviously, I want to pick one, and I want you to tell me something good about it. So I think, people, there are those.
You want me to tell you something good about it? One of my girls I'm teaching at the moment, she and I go back a long way, and she said, I didn't like that card, can I have another one? And it's like, yeah, keep it light, always keep it light. So do you want me to pick a card for you?
I would like to, yeah, please. I would like to, just as a...
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you to give me a question, because that is the best way to work.
Okay, so I am trying to work on something in the entertainment industry, and let's keep it light. So I'm trying to work something on the entertainment industry, for the entertainment industry, and I would like to know if, for me, chasing that career is it feasible, or like let's be where we are and continue that thing as a hobby and not as a profession.
Right. Okay. So the way you phrased that with me, I would want to choose one card for taking it as a profession.
Okay.
And the other card for having it as a hobby.
Okay.
Because you've asked me an either-or question there.
Okay.
It's important to phrase your questions so that it's nice and clear. So I'm shuffling for you. And obviously I've connected with your energy because we've been talking. And I'm going to choose you one card for professionally and the other one for hobby. So, this is lovely. Professionally, we have got the 9 of Pentacles. And this is saying that this looks to me like financially it's a good idea.
Okay.
As a hobby, we've got the Wish card. We've got the 9 of Cups, which is saying to me, this is your heart's desire.
Oh. Yeah, you got me, yeah. Kind of, yeah.
And, the 2 9s together, 9 is a very, very, very magical number. The 9 ties in with that Oh, that hermit that I was talking with before.
Yes.
And the hermit is saying to me, this is, of your path.
Okay.
So I would just be saying to you, this, I can't say to you, do it. But I would be saying, okay, looks like there's potential there.
Okay.
Explore it.
Okay. Good indication. Nice one. Yeah.
And I can feel that you're quite happy as well.
Yeah. So far, so good. Thank you, Fiona.
Okay.
One last question before, it's a small show and basically I'm just touching the basics. So I'm not going so deep into tarot cards, but something I want you to tell me is, what are the misconceptions about, tarot card reading, which, many of us, obviously one is the, future teller, which everybody thinks you will be but what do you think are, the other misconceptions which people have?
All right. The other misconceptions can be that you should not buy your own tarot deck, that it should always be bought for you. There are misconceptions to do with you should maybe only use one deck. There are more misconceptions.
And do people ask you this, like what you said, like have people ask you this often, like, should I buy my own deck, or like, should you?
There's, people will say, should I? And I my students, I will say, buy something that resonates with you, because you need to be able to read from that deck.
Correct.
And it's get the misconceptions out of the way, because if things are too complicated, people won't connect with and have a look. And one thing I will say is, not necessarily a misconception, but something that is very useful to know, is that if you repeatedly have readings on the same question, because you're waiting to hit, it's generally when people are wanting romance readings. And it's like, what's going on? Is he going to leave his wife for me? Is he going to leave his wife for me? Is he going to leave his wife for me? Or husband for me, or whatever. And it's like the tarot becomes like your mother, and will say to you, you've been told once. Please don't ask again.
Okay. Otherwise, you keep expecting the same answer, and
I've known people go round readers at an event, or have readings loads and loads and loads, desperately looking for what they want to hear. And the cards will tell you what is there. One of the things that I tend to say to somebody is, when was the last time you had a reading? And I was working at Glastonbury Festival, big music festival that was happening in the UK several years ago, and I had somebody come to me and I said, when did you last have a reading? She said, I had one about 10 minutes ago. And I said, well, you definitely don't need another one.
Okay. They come, okay. That's pretty fast. 10 minutes.
Well, it's
another reading.
Yes. And this maybe was because we were doing readings on a donations basis, and it was far too cheap, and skills weren't being valued.
Okay. That's it, Fiona. These are the only questions I had, because I had no idea about it. Like, this gives some idea, at least it helps to understand, because again, talking to someone who's a specialist in this always helps. That's it, Fiona. Thank you very much. We have, come to an end to this podcast, and it was pretty nice. I'll actually now go to the internet and read about it, because it's pretty intriguing. And
okay, well, if there's anything I can help you with, do come back to me.
On this separately for consultations, which I'll get back personally.
Okay, do that thing. I'd love to work with you.
And this is nice. I mean, something which, it has always been in my head, but no one was there to explain. So, yeah.
But I think it's good when somebody's, done something for a long time to be able to share.
Yeah.
And you've got the sort of real and raw experiences rather than it just being kind of from the book.
Yeah.
So,
it's easier, it's easier that way. And that's it, Fiona. I will
thank you very much.
Close my podcast. I will let you have your day. Sunday. Thank you so much. I will see you soon.
Bless you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
lots of love. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, I hope you liked this video and I hope you enjoyed this content. I'm trying to get different kinds of content every week and covering different topics. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please put it down in the comment section below what other kinds of topics you want me to cover, and I will get back to you in time. Thank you guys. Keep watching BNB, Minding My Business. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.